What's up, everyone? Welcome to ClearTalk. So we are back here at the fire pit. It's early enough in the day that my tree here is giving enough shade to sit here and do the video. So yay! All right. In this video, we're going to be talking about the corruption. That's right. We're going to be talking about the Trump and his family corruption. And money making, profiteering off of the presidency. Because now, and why are we talking about this? Because now the financial records have been released, pretty much proving all of the corruption theories and questions around activity that has been done in this administration. And the speculation around the corruption and profiteering, it's now been proven. Okay, so we're going to be talking about this. All right, so thank you very much for joining me here on ClearTalk. If you would like to check out more from the channel or any of my other channels, all the links are in the description down below. If you would like to check out the merch, that would be amazing. Go to pinkinnovation.com/collections/JMD merch. That link is in the description. I mean, I'm wearing a JMD shirt right now. And if you want a discount on that, then go to Patreon, okay? And become a member of Patreon. Patreon, $2 a month to support any of the channels that you would like to grow those channels, grow Patreon, grow the JMD Nation, and of course get a discount on that merch. So that would be amazing if you could do that. Any support you give, very much appreciated. Thank you very much. And if you return, you're freaking amazing. So welcome back. Again, everything can be found in the description. So corruption. We've been talking about this on and off for a while now. That I have stated over and over again. Trump is a con man, and he, in his first administration, he attempted this. He attempted to profiteer off of it, but a lot of things were held back. He was, and he didn't really go full-fledged with it. But this time around, all hands on deck, no holds bar. They are full on profiting. Okay, that's the reason. Okay, in the argument, I know the argument is first right off the bat. All of you, MAGA, some ardent supporters of Trump, but wait, look at this person, look at this person, look at this person. But he doesn't take, and also Trump doesn't even take a salary for presidency. He completely waived that. No president's ever done that before. Look at Pelosi, look at Hunter, look at all these people, look at these career politicians. They're making money and profiteering too. This is the problem. This is the problem that I am seeing over and over and over and over again when a complaint is brought up about Trump or this administration or about Republicans. It's always point the finger at somebody else. And look, but look at them, but look at them, but look at them. And why do you point the finger? Because you don't like what you see over there. You're complaining about it. You've been doing this for years, complaining about this person, that person, this thing going on, these people doing this, and everything else. And your whole argument around having this man in the office was to remove this, right? Drain the swamp. He was supposed to remove, and what was the swamp? What was the swamp? The swamp was all of this career corruption that you claim is out there. And quite frankly, nobody's arguing against you that it's there. That's the thing. I have said over and over again, yes, there is definite corruption in Washington. No doubt. And all these people you bring up, yes, there was corruption. There was dealings. There was profiting off of decision making with the market and business deals and with Hunter off of his name and being put in place to make money. Yes, and we're talking about millions of dollars here. A lot of these career politicians have made millions of dollars, become millionaires off of being congressmen, no doubt. But here's the thing. while all of that is correct and it is wrong and should not be happening, and we should have policies and things put in place, or those that are put in place to be upheld, those are career, okay? They've made millions over career, okay? Over multiple years, 5, 10, 15, 20 years of being and doing this stuff, they have made millions, okay? And you're right, it is a problem. And you're right, it is a swamp. And that swamp should have already been taken care of. But it's continued to be allowed to do so. But Trump was supposed to be against that. He claimed he was going to remove all that. He was going to end corruption. I mean, this whole beginning of this whole term was, we're going to root out the corruption, the fraud, all this kind of stuff. He had Elon, raid the treasury and come up with all this quote unquote fraud and everything with all these agencies and the federal government, blah blah blah. Wasn't looking at all this quote unquote swamp that you claimed was there. They were looking at everything else and removing assistance programs for people across the country, firing people that were doing their fucking jobs all across the country, just to turn around and have to hire them back because they didn't need to be fired. All this corruption and fraud that he claimed he was going to get rid of. And I've told you over and over again, the actual fraudster, the actual corruption is him. He is the swamp. And not only is he the swamp, he is the biggest in the swamp. He is the head of the fucking swamp. And now we have it. We have the proof. Okay, financial dealings are showing. He himself has enriched himself. The reason why he doesn't need a salary is because he's doing all these deals. It has all these avenues where he is enriching himself off the presidency to the tune of billions of dollars. Not millions. Billions with a B, okay? Roughly 2.2 or more. They don't even, there's no way to even calculate all the different possibilities he's actually made money. But where they can, they've established around $2.2 billion that he has profited just in this term. A little over a year. Okay, we're not talking about a career thing here. We're not talking about 5 years like with Hunter Biden, or multiple 10, 15 years like the Pelosi's and others in Congress or whatever. We're not talking about multiple, like decades. Okay, we're talking about just over a year. And he has enriched himself by $2.2 plus billion. And that's not even to include his family and what they have enriched and how much they have earned, which is probably that plus some. I agree that pointing the finger at all these other people, you are correct. But to point your finger at all these other people, to point the finger at all these other instances and try to say, but, and be mad about that but not also look at Trump and his family and go, you weren't supposed to be that way, but you are not only doing that, but like pretty much on speed. $10, $15, $20-fold more profit, more corruption, more enrichment. You have to lay it all across the entire field, okay? Stop defending this man by pointing your finger at all these other people. He is the head of the snake. He has been. Him and his elite buddies, they're all heads of the snake. They are all the ones that are corrupt and have corrupted Congress and helped them enrich themselves. Half of his 2.2 billion plus is in the crypto scams. Around 1.5 billion in the crypto market. Some numbers there. There have been, in his first administration, I think it was reported roughly around a little over 500 transactions made in the stock market in his first administration. Biden, by comparison, Biden, I think they stated, had roughly 30 something transactions. 30s, not 300, 30, like 34 or 35, something like that, transactions that, you know, were open to public, that you know, they could see in his presidency. Questionable, most certainly, need to be investigated. So does Trump. But this administration, Trump has had thousands, over 3,000 transactions in this administration on the stock market. Not 30 something, not even 500. Over 3,000 transactions. And most of those conveniently done after some sort of policy or action or announcement was made by the president himself or by members of his administration. And just coincidentally, before or after those announcements were suspicious transactions. And not only by Trump, but by multiple other people as well. So it's not even just Trump enriching himself. He is helping others enrich themselves too. Over the stock market, over crypto. All of these dealings that he is making with these other countries. You know, when we do negotiation deals or try to stop or situate, normally the idea, or at least the idea should be, and I'm not saying that it's always been this way. There's probably some little Weasley things that have happened over the years. But the idea should be that, you know, if we get them to agree to something, we help them in some sort of avenue that they need help in, but they also help us, like the entirety of the nation, that will benefit the nation, the people, and interest that we have, to that to be the bargain. Okay, a, you know, tit for tat deal, if you want to quote, I guess, or say, or whatever. Trump's dealings, though, have been where he does something to help them and benefit them, give them something that they've been wanting that has not been allowed, or whatever the case. And then they, in turn, do something that benefits him, that enriches him or enriches his family. You remember the plane that Doha, Qatar, rewarded him? The Air Force One? That was the plane that was repurposed for an Air Force One, although it's not even an active Air Force One, is to be actually put in like his museum, that he repurposed with taxpayer money just to be put in his museum. He got that benefit. It is solely his. It's not the American people. It's not to be used by the American people. It is his. And then he coincidentally did some dealings and some stuff to help, investments and stuff to help in Qatar. The UAE, he helped open up some stuff that the UAE wanted done, and policy changes the UAE wanted done, for them to turn around and invest in his crypto company, in his family's crypto company, by the tunes of hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. I think they bought almost half into the company. This is what I'm talking about. There have been deals made in other countries with Kushner and with the Trump sons, where they are investing in doing deals like mining companies and deals, and enriching themselves off of it with other countries. This is what is happening, okay? It's the use of power by the president to enrich himself and his family. And doing this just open and blatantly. As if he can't be touched. And the funny thing is that he admitted to it back in January of this year when asked about potential profiteering. And he said, well, basically that nobody cares and that he can do whatever he wants. He realized that nobody cares and he can do whatever he wants to do. Why is that? Because you, the supporters, MAGA, you have supported everything. You have said from the get-go, it wouldn't matter. I've heard it. It would not matter if he shot somebody on 5th Avenue or whatever, and everybody saw it, you would still vote for him because he's the best man you've ever seen as president, or blah, 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 blah. You have stated you do not care what he does. You still want him as president because you think it's benefiting you. You think you're getting what you want. Whether it's you think you're getting lower taxes, or you think that you're racially benefiting with the immigration policies and helping your white supremacy, or whatever the case, whatever you think you are benefiting from, you don't care what he does. He can be as corrupt, murderous, Epstein, elite class-like, rape, child sexual misconduct, or whatever. You do not care what he does because you think that you're benefiting from him being in office, and you think that he is rooting out all this corruption and fraud everywhere else, so he can be corrupt and frauded and an absolute horrible, despicable human being. And you would rather that be in office just because he's claiming he is rooting out fraud and corruption. And the only place you seem to be concerned with that is with people just like you. You don't care that he's pardoned all kinds of fraudsters so far in his administration. I mean, like, there's upwards of 20 to 30 people that he has pardoned, CEOs and all kinds of people that are absolutely corrupt, that have and fraudsters. You don't care about that. But let's make sure that my neighbor down the road that's struggling with 2 or 3 jobs and to feed their family and children and everything else, let's make sure that they are not getting a little bit extra money on their child support or their SNAP benefits or whatever. Let's make sure that they're not getting a few extra dollars that they shouldn't be getting. Because that's corruption. That's fraud. That shouldn't be happening. Not all these elite assholes that have all the money in the world and can get away with whatever the fuck they want to and feel like they have complete impunity. And if you decide to go to his defense and be corrupt and criminal yourself, like the Jan Sixers, and do something illegal, you're hoping that he will just pardon you so you can get out of it. You can get out of that. Matter of fact, you might even get paid for it. But yet you hate all the so-called paid actors that are out there protesting, and you want them locked up for egregious amount of years, like they just did in Texas. Longer than murderers and rapists. Sentences. 20, 30, 50, 100 years. You're okay with that. The corruption is rampant. The corruption with Trump is rampant. All of his con man deals also, not just crypto, but all his con stuff, his meme coin, his shit coin that he enriched himself off of, okay? But investors, like regular people that he got to invest in, lost shit tons of money while he gained. He made money off of it. All his other scams, the sneakers, the watch, the Bible, Constitution, the fucking phone, all these things that, and then they come in and acting like they're all American made, you know, to try to hit at the soul and heart of all you patriots. Oh my gosh, he's so America first. Just to come to find out that actually it wasn't made in America at all. The packaging may have been assembled here in America, but the fucking product was made in China or Taiwan or somewhere else. Why? Because he doesn't fucking care as long as he makes money off of you and enriches himself, because you are foolish enough, ignorant enough, or cultish enough to help him do it. He's corrupt. His family's corrupt. They're all fraudsters. They're all conmen. They're all criminals. Enriching themselves tenfold from all the other fraudsters and criminals in Washington. And at this point, if you continue to support him and continue to argue that that is okay, he deserves it. He was so fucking wronged. What are you talking about? They went after him so hard. He's had it so bad. Oh my gosh, the Nepo baby who's always been fed with a silver spoon and never had to hardly work in his life. Oh my God, he's had it so bad. Never even fucking bought groceries before, apparently. Didn't even know the word grocery was still used. Such an old word. If you continue to support him and defend him, then I, at this point, must declare that you are also corrupt and you are a fraud. That's the only connection I can make at this point. That you either are, or you have aspirations to be, or you're at least complicit and sympathetic to corruption and fraud and criminal activity. Because you are continuing to defend it. But only when it comes to Trump. He, for some reason, gets a pardon, an excuse, and apologized for everything. You want to condemn everybody else. You want to condemn what you deem as criminal amongst you, the ones that are like you, who are suffering and having to work again multiple jobs or struggling to pay the bills or whatever. You want to demonize them, people that are like you, or maybe even more than likely less than you. But you won't demonize and point out and conclude that Trump is, I mean, at the very least, the same? Although that's like pathetic to say. He is not even in the same ballpark, not even the same fucking universe when it comes to corruption and fraud. He is bounds and bounds and bounds more criminal and fraud and con man than damn near anybody else in the country at this point. And again, he is the president of the United fucking States of America. I thought we held these types of things to a higher like expectation. Or is it that our expectations of our leaders and politicians are so fucking in the gutter at this point that we don't care anymore? We just let them get away with anything they want as long as they do one or two things that we think that we like, that we think that benefit us. Never mind all the tons of other shit that looks pretty fucked up. I mean, is that how low we've gotten? Does that actually represent the sickness that has overwhelmingly, apparently, taken over this country? That we have a Nepo baby con man, silver spoon licking, Epstein Island regular fucking orange man, corrupt fraudster, criminal in office. And you're celebrating that. This sickness is beyond measure at this point. So, this is on you now. This is on all of us, actually. We've got to face and realize what's going on. And we've got to stop it. We've got to remove and weed out. Actually weed out this corruption. And pressure these politicians to either remove themselves or change their ways. And there be no other option. Or the corruption and fraud and stealing of your tax money, stealing of wealth, stealing of power will only continue and get worse. Trump has proven that. Trump took what was already a problem and scaled it up to the skies. Again, he stated, nobody cares. I can do what I want. Is that the truth? Is that the reality, that we don't care and that he can do whatever he wants? Along with all of his buddies, CEOs and billionaires alike, Congress people alike, all of Washington, is that what it is? We don't care, we can just let them do whatever they want? As long as those on our side, on our level and below, or make sure they're not getting a couple extra dollars. Who cares about the billions that they're raking in, but just make sure that neighbor doesn't get a couple extra bucks a month. Because I don't want to pay for that. I don't mind paying for all these billions that these elite rich assholes are taking from us, and I don't care about the billions that are being used to send weapons to countries to bomb and kill children. We don't care about that. Just make sure that neighbor down the road can't get a couple extra bucks a month to help pay for food, help pay for a roof, help pay for air, help pay for water, help pay for school, doctor's bills, child care. No. Can't let that happen. The sickness is real. The sickness is real. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me know what you think. And until next time, peace, clear talk. I'm out.